Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk a little bit more about Putin and his plans as things move forward. Um, Over the last couple of weeks, ever since the dust up with Wagner, there's been a lot of speculation and not a lot of information about what Putin is planning and how he intends on trying to handle those elements within the military structures there that are questioning his command capabilities. We're finally starting to see little bits and pieces in public from Putin that give us a hint because the people that he's been dealing with and how he's been treating them, he's been pretty polite but possibly purgy. And we're getting little bits of information that start to come out, and you can finally start to get a picture of what he might actually be trying to do. Okay, so let's start with the removal of traditional Russian officers and where that's going. We've been talking about some that have been questioned, I think is the polite term, detained, and we've kind of focused on 3 that have had this happen or they've been relieved of command, something like that. It looks like that number may be closing in on 20 at this point. There's a dozen more that are out there that have been pretty well confirmed to have been relieved of command. For your average Russian troop, this is really bad news because this is starting to become much more widespread. It's definitely a political realignment of the traditional military command structure. The reason that's bad news for the troops is that generally speaking, when this starts to occur, the main criteria to take over a vacant command is loyalty, not skill. That may be really bad news for a lot of Russian troops. So that's what's going on with the traditional Ministry of Defense side. Now, let's talk about Wagner. Putin said Wagner PMC does not exist. And that's the quote that's being used. There's more to it. He didn't dismantle it. That's him kind of signaling, sending out a message. The reality is that there is not a law in Russia that authorizes a military structure like Wagner. A company like that, under their laws, really can't exist. So there's 2 pieces to this. Part of it is kind of reminding everybody, hey, you do realize I can outlaw your company at any moment. But I'm not doing that yet because I'm still trying to be friendly. It's the carrot and the stick thing. So he wasn't saying that this is a done deal, that Wagner has been scattered to the ends of the earth. What he was saying was a factually correct statement. Legally, in Russia, Wagner PMC does not exist because no law would authorize an organization like that to exist. It's a veiled method of intimidation, a little bit. We also have reporting that says he tried to get the current boss of Wagner out and put the troops from Wagner under the command of a battlefield commander that they all kind of respect. But apparently that didn't go the way he planned. I have no idea why. That's still kind of out there. But it appears that Putin's plan here is to keep Wagner. I mean, he kind of has to. He needs them. He needs the experienced core of that company to even pretend that he can remain even remotely viable. And he has to find a way to keep them loyal to him. I feel like his intention here is going to be to kind of kick the old boss to the curb and leave Wagner intact, but maybe it comes under control of the Ministry of Defense. And it's a special operations command, an official one. Or maybe the company gets restructured under a new owner, but the commanders stay the same. That appears to be his route. And that, Wagner PMC does not exist. That was just reminding everybody that you're going to play ball or I'm going to take the ball and go home, because the only reason your company exists is because I allow it to. So he is coming back to his strongman roots, dealing with them. It seems pretty tactful so far. However, when you combine that with the traditional commanders that have been relieved of duty, he's scared. He's scared, which makes him a little bit more unpredictable. I think he realizes that maybe the boss of Wagner has more contacts within the upper echelons of Russian society, those with a lot of money, those with a lot of power if they were to pool it, and he might be a real threat to him. So he's trying to maintain control peacefully for the moment, but a lot of his actions definitely indicate he's scared. He's scared he's going to be deposed. And that may not be an irrational fear for him. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.